Yo, what is good, my fellow deadheads? Your overlord has returned with yet another Kaiju number 8 video. Hopefully everybody has been enjoying the game, and guys, go check out my video on the raid that is just releasing to the game today. I've already done a guide on how to do it, how to get the rewards, what the rewards are, and kind of not really talked about team builds because you only need one team, and the team requirement is very simple. But this video is on how to do team builds and everything, because I saw under one of my videos somebody commented and asked how to switch teams, which I didn't mean to like laugh there. There's obviously everybody's at different levels of understanding, but somebody asked how to switch teams, and I'll be honest with you, sometimes the UI is not as helpful as you want it to be. So sometimes when I'm looking for something very simple, it is right in my face and I literally just cannot see it because it is kind of like a monotone background and everything is kind of gray, so it is kind of hard to see some things sometimes. But again, we are here to talk about team setups, guys, and if you guys do enjoy videos like this where I'm just breaking it down, giving you these guides, you can definitely go down below. You can leave a like on the video, you can subscribe and hit the notification bell because it helps the dead man so much. We have actually broken 900 subscribers and I really do appreciate it because we've already shot past 900 at this point, so we might as well just keep trucking along to 1,000 and then beyond that and beyond that and beyond that. But again, I really do appreciate you guys' support, and I really do love making the videos that I make, and I'm glad that you guys are finding it somewhat useful, feeling like you're getting some level of education out of this. But without further ado, you can comment down below and let me know what you want to know as well. We're going to go ahead and start off the video. So guys, this is actually the main team that I use right here. It actually does cover quite a bit of bases. I'm just going to go ahead and say that this team, for the most part, I put it on auto battle and put it into missions, and it typically just gets the job done for me. I am nearly at full stamina, so I am going to be doing a stage in this video just to kind of show you guys, right? But the main thing that you want to pay attention to are these typings right here, right? So you can see all these little different symbols on the characters and everything, and dependent on what stage you are doing, that is going to determine how your team looks, right? So this game is very similar to JJK Phantom Parade, actually, in that regard, where depending on where you are trying to win determines how your team is going to play. The only difference is that with JJK, even if you put the team together, it is a lot of extra mental math you got to do, like lining up your turns properly and everything. This game, I have found it's more like, okay, I put the right units together, I can auto this. And honestly, you don't have to auto everything. And guys, auto might be a boring experience for you, sure. I like to set my games up to where I'm autoing everything because I like to be able to focus and I like to think as much as I can about, damn, how do I do this hard content, right? The less that I have to think about in the basic content, the more that I can just auto battle it, which means my characters are that strong. The more time I have to think of what could they be adding to the game? How am I going to prepare for what they're adding to the game, right? The less you have to think about now, the more that you can think about later, if that makes sense, or the less that I have to worry about right now, the more I can prep for later in general, right? Because we don't know what's coming. Like, who knew that a raid was going to be here in 3 freaking days? But hey, bro, I was ready for it nonetheless, and honestly, you guys are ready for it too, because 1, the dead man dropped you a guide video explaining how easy it is. 2, it is a very easy raid, and 3, it only requires one team. It doesn't even require multiple teams, so it might require some extra units, you know, some extra wiggle room and whatnot. And we got to see if it gets harder as the boss's HP percentage goes down, because right now the boss is still in the 100 to 80% percentage health quartile, where we need to get it down to 80% and then 60% for submissions and then 50%, I think. But let's see if the boss gets harder as it hits these different HP thresholds. I think that'll be a very interesting mechanic. But yes, let's go to an actual training stage, because I'm still working on all the training stages, and talk about what the difference in all of these symbols mean. So guys, I just want to prove I'm not yapping about nothing. I have literally most of these stages beaten up to like a pretty high level. The only reason why a lot of them say 5 out of 6 and not 6 out of 6 is because I have to get to level 40 and get Spec Ops rank 4 to unlock pretty much the rest of the game. Once you do that, you can get units to level 100. You can do all these stages on level 6. Just a different slew of things that you have access to. But yeah, I have a bunch of stamina here, guys. I have been very patient with my stamina. I still have not spent any money in the game, by the way. I have absolutely depleted all of my dimensional crystals for stamina yesterday, because I was like, dude, if I get to level 40 and that unlocks the rest of the game, I can actually just super chill on spending stamina on anything at that point. But yes, I've just been going around and trying to beat all the training stages, because as you beat these training stages, the more that you beat them, the faster you're going to level, obviously. But what do I mean by that? When you repeat a stage, it only gives you 50 50 experience. It doesn't say it, but that is 50 experience that you gain right there. Every time you face a new stage that you have not beaten at all, then you actually get 100 experience, because you get the 50 from the first time clear, and then the 50 extra experience from actually doing the stage. So spreading out your teams and doing all these stages is not only a good way to test and see how strong your teams are, but also is a good way to level up your account faster, right? Now this run right here, you can see that this one I only got 2 out of 3 stars on it, because I did use an elemental character. So let's break down these types right here. When you're looking at the recommended attributes, these are all the attributes that you can see on this team right here. This team is what I will consider a completely physical team, right? Because you can see that they have different PLTs. Those are plating. So there are going to be different characters who have different plating breaking statuses, right? So these are the physical plating attributes. The first one right there, and let me get my mouse. The first one is so much mental, not mental work, but it's like I'm literally switching my microphone from my left to right hand, switching between my iPad and my mouse. Let me just move my iPad over a little bit more. That might help me out a little bit. Yeah, that helped me out right there. So you can see right here, we have the gray one right here, which is slash. It looks like a bunch of sharp objects, looks like a bunch of swords. Cool. We have the brown one right here, which is blunt, and that one's gonna be like Kaiju. That one looks like a Kaiju's fist, I think so. That one looks like Kafka's fist. How his fist is like huge, but it also has like the extra spikes and extra contours to it, right? Then we have the crosshair, the reticle right here. This one is going to be shot class plating, right? So some enemies are going to have one of these 3 symbols, and that means that you need to specifically hit them with a slash attack, a shooting attack, or a blunt attack, depending on what symbol that you see. Now, this right here are going to be elemental platings, right? So you have fire, ice, wind, electricity, and then you have water as well. These are quite literally as they sound. Elemental plating needs elemental units. Now, there's not even a water unit in the game yet, I don't think. I think as of right now, we have the red shardy with the red hair. We have the green dude with the green hair. We have the electricity dude, Fudahatsu, I think his name is. I think I was calling him Fudahara in the expedition video, but I think his name is Fudahatsu, Igura, or Fudahatsu or some shit like that, Ikagura, or something like that, right? But we do not have a water attribute plating breaking character. At least I don't think so, right? Because we have the ice dude with the SR character who has like the white highlight in his hair, and then we also have ice from Reno, but I do not see a water character just yet. I just could not have the water character also, but I'm pretty sure I have all the SRs, and I don't think there's any SSRs that would be water at the moment, right? But these are elemental plating attributes, right? Then if we go over one more, these are general plating classifications, right? So this first one right here, you can see the 3 different nodes around the center point. That one is the physical one. Why? Because that one is more bland, more monotone in color, right? And it's and you notice that all the platings for physical were somewhat monotone in color, right? You have a very like close to grayish blue, you have a very light, brown, and then you have like actual gray, right? So all those combined make a very, they don't combine, but they're more monotone color in the overall symbol. I'm just trying to make it easier for you guys to remember, right? But also you can see 3 main points in this one. There's a 4th point in the middle, but still you can see 3 main points right here in this one, right? That one is going to be the slash shooting blunt, right? That's kind of how I remember it. This one right here is the elemental one, because the elemental one is all the colors. When you mix a bunch of colors, you get more colors, right? This is the only like colored one really, because this one's gray, this one's white. So this one right here has the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the middle point is kind of like special looking right there, right? So that's how I kind of remember that. It's 5 points of interest in the picture, I guess. Then right here, this one is just going to be any general damage. This one is just common plating. You can see there's nothing distinct about it that separates it from anything else. It is literally just a distinct basic feature, right? Okay, now we can finally go back and look at this specific mission in particular. We can see that the enemy needs somebody who is elemental in general, and then somebody who has physical damage in general, right? So I do not have many elemental characters worked on. My only elemental character that's worked on is literally the redhead girl who has red damage. Let me put her on. Her right here. I do have a couple other elemental characters, but as you can see here, I'm pretty sure this is all of the SRs. You don't see any water here. You just see ice, wind, electricity, and fire. So I didn't know it was going to be the other ice unit. That might be hinting that the next unit up may be a water unit, but who could that unit be? Not 100%. But either way, we're gonna switch you in right here because we do need fire. And then if we even back out and look at the stage again, you can actually look at the kaiju and tell which kaiju are gonna have exactly what. So I can just tell from reading this that this is probably gonna be a mission that has 2 different waves to it, right? 2 or 3 waves. No, it's probably gonna be 2 waves. It'll probably be one wave with these 3 at the top and this guy, and then these 3 in the middle and this guy, right? That's probably how the 2 waves are gonna be broken up. So I can tell from right here, right now, that at the very least, yeah, if you literally tap on them, it tells you exactly what you need. So you need 2 units, you need 2 attacks that are just physical in general. It doesn't matter if it's blunt, slash, or shooting, right? That is perfectly fine with this team still, because everybody on this team literally still has physical, everybody on this team still has physical damage. You can see that even though she is a fire unit, she is still a shooting unit as well. I am interested to see what characters are going to look like when they are just elemental and do not actually have physical damage capabilities on them. That would feel very similar to like a mage type of class, I feel like, just because they don't have an actual weapon. But I will continue on. If we look down at the main one right here, we can see that we will need to hit it with 3 normal attacks and then hit it with an elemental attack in general. Doesn't matter if it's fire, ice, water, wind, whoever cares, right? But as long as you are hitting it with elemental attacks. Now, this stage right here, I'm probably not going to try because I already know that I can only do it at the 2-star efficiency right now with the characters at my disposal. And plus, I want to keep going around and I want to keep getting 3 stars on all these different stages so that I don't have to go back and do them again until I'm done doing all of these stages. Why is that? This is not really a team building tip. This is more like a in general tip. It's because I want to maximize the amount of experience I'm getting for the stamina I'm using while I can, and then whenever I am forced to go back and get 3 stars on the rest of the other stages, that'll give me only 50 experience versus the 100 experience, but at least I've already spent all my stamina on all the 100 experience stages. At least I've grinded as much extra levels as I could before I came back to this, and then by the time I get to level 40, all the level 6 stages unlocked, and then hopefully we're at a point where everything is just easy peasy for me and I'm just auto battling through the level 6 stages. But that is kind of like how I like to use the training stages. I like to use it to gauge where my team is at the moment, see who I need to work on, see where I need to do the work, right? But now we're gonna go ahead and just go into the wyvern type kaiju, and you can see that this one right here is just very general damage, right? But I'm gonna do this first one, and then you can notice also that most of the content in the game, when you get to the first level, usually the team can be whatever the hell you want. Really doesn't matter at all, right? The plating doesn't really have any distinct things to it. If I look at the enemy for this run right here, you're gonna see that all of the enemies I'm going to face is probably going to be 3 waves of 3, right? And you can't really 100% tell that just looking at this, but I can just make assumptions, right? This is probably going to be 3 waves of 3 enemies right here just from looking at this. If you tap through every single one of them, you can see all of them need to be hit just 2 times in general before they are broken, right? And the reason why breaking is so important, we're going to see in the mission in a second here. The reason why breaking is so important, so the reason why breaking enemies is so important is because if you look under the enemy's HP bar, they actually have, now obviously my team is going to just like one tap these enemies and kill them. I'm gonna do a higher stage so you can see, but basically these enemies, if they are not dealt with in their break gauges, they are going to do their ultimate on me, and when they do their ultimate, that is their highest capability of damage. But when you build your team properly and keep all of the enemies kind of like subdued and make sure you're hitting them with all of the right typings, then you can make sure that enemies do not do ults at all. This stage looks really easy right now, but that's because nobody's on their ults at all. You can see that enemy is in core exposed state. That means that enemy was hit twice by 2 different skills that were physical plating skills. And I didn't even notice him get hit by the 2 plating skills. But the reason why I'm doing this right now is because as we go deeper into this like stage right here, you're going to start to see that the typing on the enemies is actually going to evolve a little bit, and you're going to have to be a little bit more careful about who you're bringing, right? So now you can see that one of them has actually switched from needing random damage in general to now whenever the boss pops out, I need to make sure that I'm doing physical damage specifically to him. So you saw how that changed. Just one enemy changed, but it makes a world of difference, because if you have, well, it doesn't really make a world of difference, because right now every single character in the game, even if they have elemental capability, they still have a physical damage capability. Where it starts to get a little crazy is whenever they start adding in elemental stuff, or whenever they add in like, oh, you need to have slash and shooting and right. It's like when they start adding like up to like 3 types, and one of the types is not common. That's when things start to get a little bit difficult, because now you're over here either needing to make your team survive as long as possible so they can actually make it around to get those extra hits in and survive the ultimates, or you need to make your team as fast as possible so they can just keep spamming extra turns and all those extra things. But as you can see here, this team, like I said, it's no secret, this team literally is not going to struggle. I mean, bro, you have Narumi, who is #1 in the defense force in the show. You have Hoshina, who is like cracked as shit in the show, but he's just a buffer, but he's still a really good buffer. You have this dude who's, I think he's actually one of the lieutenants in the first division actually, but his buffs are insane, right? So don't be fooled by the SR characters. Some of these SR characters are really, really good. And if you're thinking like, oh no, but I don't want to use, for instance, I don't want to use SR Hoshina because my only DPS is SSR Hoshina, that is perfectly fine, guys. There is no need for a same name update in this game, because you can run same name characters on the same team. You could literally run a team with Kafka and Kaiju #8 if you wanted to. You can literally run a team with both Kikadus if you wanted to. You can run a team with both Minas, both Hoshinas if you wanted to. You can do all sorts of crazy combinations if you want to, right? So team building is actually pretty easy in this game. Again, you just want to look at the specific stage that you are doing and make sure that you have the required things for it. But now let's see what stage 3 looks like, just to see if we can get a little bit more difficult of a mission here. And if stage 3 isn't really that much more difficult, I'm just going to show you guys the fact that it changed. Then I'll probably, oh, okay, so look, this one right here now says that it wants me to do shooting and physical damage. So if we, I didn't mean to go all the way back out. If we look at the enemy type now, we can see here that all of the enemies need physical damage specifically, and then this one at the end needs shooting damage. So that's going to work perfectly fine. And I also want to show you guys something really cool here with Narumi as well, since Narumi is the only character who is 2 different physical types, because he has ranged and short range attacks. I'm pretty much going to let this auto battle until I get to the until I get to the 3rd stage, and then when I get to the 3rd stage, I'm going to actually take control and just show you guys something really cool here. So even though I said that guy's a support, he does kind of surprise me with the damage sometimes. Obviously, Narumi is just absolutely ripping ass out here. It just doesn't make any sense. Doesn't matter at all, man. He's insane, dude. All right, so we do more physical damage. Everybody's dead. Kalka getting the casual 9999999. All right, we're gonna honestly just stop the auto battle now, because I want to make sure that I have some charges for my blast attack. Or honestly, I can go ahead and let this one go. I want to make sure I have charges for my blast attack though in the last room, because there's something very important that I need to show you guys. That I'll be honest with you. I tried to record this video before, but I was literally learning extra things as I was in the video. So I was just like, you know what? Let's just redo this video, because you know I'm not scared to put in that extra effort for y'all, man. So I'm just like, let's just take a step back. Let's redo the video and let's cover all this stuff that we're learning now. That's what I like about this game, man. As I continually make content on this game, I feel like I do just keep learning so much more every time I play, and I do love that so much, man, because I love learning new things. And who knew that the new things I'd be learning would be in a gacha game? Okay, cool. So we're finally in this room, right? So the thing that I want to show to you guys is that this enemy specifically has that he wants physical damage done and he wants shooting damage done. Since Hoshina is not a shooter character and he is a slasher character, that is just what it's going to be. He's just going to take away one of the slashing things, right? But you can see here that it shows you what is going to be lost from the enemy's break bar or break requirements after you do the attack. So you can see here that after I hit him with Hoshina, he's going to go from 2 to 1 of those. We're not even going to hit him with Hoshina. Or yeah, we're going to hit him with Hoshina, right? So we're going to do this. The one thing that I want to show you guys is, oh damn, it didn't switch to Narumi. We're gonna start setting up everybody to take this L. Then we're gonna do this. All right, cool. So now it's Narumi. So the thing about Narumi is, you can see on his skills, all of his skill, not all of them. His first skill is just a slash attack, but his blast attack is a skill that hits. There we go. His blast attack is a skill that hits slash and shooting requirement. His ultimate is the same way, and they're not AoEs. They just hit the one in the middle and they hit the adjacent enemies as well. So you're going to see that, okay, basically the point that I'm trying to make is, if I shot at this kaiju, it would take the shooting break away, because the shooting is the one that is more specific. The one that is the most specific is the one that takes the break first, right? But since this man has shooting and slash in his attack, it's going to take away both of those at the same time, right? But you can see right here, the one in the middle has 2 stacks of physical damage. That is not going to take away both stacks of those at the same time because it is stacked on one thing. You have to do the ones that are stacked on top of itself, you have to do those in different instances of damage pretty much. The ones that are side by side, you can do at the same time if you have a character that can do both at the same time. So we're going to do this, and you're going to notice that the one on the side is going to break if it doesn't die. So we do this. Okay, cool. So one on the side, well, that one got broken. One on the side got broken, even though he had two different things. Narumi met both of those requirements and absolutely killed that one. So now I'm just gonna like not even worry about anything else. We're just gonna spam ults real quick and literally just watch this thing, right? But guys, that is the bulk of what I had to say about team building. It's pretty simple. It's pretty intuitive actually. Low key, just look at the enemies that you're facing. I should have maybe used Hoshina's ultimate first, but it's cool. You just look at the enemies that you're facing. You can literally go in and do a hard study session on all the enemies you are going to fight one by one before you even get in the mission. But that's what I'm saying, bro. Like I said, this is very similar to JJK in the fact that you are looking at every single stage for the specific team build, but it's easier than JJK in the sense that all of your mental work, all of your mental math is going to be before you get in the stage, not as you're in the stage and you're trying to figure out the exact turn cadence and everything, which that is always going to be an aspect of gacha games. But this game, it just feels a little bit smoother. The characters feel a little bit more cohesive, right? Some of the characters in JJK felt a little clunky and felt like they weren't meant to be used with other characters, but they just work by chance because their effects are so niche, right? This game, it feels like these characters were intentionally put together, you know what I'm saying? But guys, that is going to be it for my team building guide. And honestly, let's just look and see what the requirement for this at stage 4 is. So it's exactly the same, except for the enemies are stronger, and I would assume that maybe one extra. I was assuming that maybe one extra enemy needed to be shot as well, but it looks like that didn't even get added in as a change. So this one is just going to be a difficulty jump or a level jump, and then the next one they probably add another like little mechanic on. So like I think this is a very common theme for all of the stages in the game, by the way, guys. If it's like training stages at least, right? Starts out very basic, then it gets a little more specific, then it actually gets completely specified, and then the specification, and then it makes the units harder, and then the specification just gets more, you know, in depth, right? But guys, that is it for my team building guide. It was just something super quick. This whole video started because somebody asked me how you switch teams. Dude, did I even show that? If you go to squad setup, and then you literally go to rearrange, you can literally, oh, well, that's moving them around. Hold on. If you go to squad setup, you literally just tap on any character you want to and just pick a different character and then just press add instead, right? That's so funny that I just did an entire team building video and the most basic thing, how to switch characters on your team. I didn't even like really like do that. And also, guys, you can have up to 10 teams at once. This is my second team that I'm working on right now. I'm trying to work on them for the Fierce battle, and then I just literally don't have any other teams to work on right now. But y'all know how the Deadman goes, bro. Like, pretty much I'm gonna finish these teams, and then as soon as I'm finished with these two teams, I'm gonna get bored and I'm gonna just be like, all right, let me work on other characters. Plus there's a very low number of characters in the game right now, so ample opportunity to work on whoever you want right now, bro. Like, if you wanted to work on everybody as a sweat, even, you can use all your resources and still get more. Like it's not like Black Clover Mobile where there was like 30 something characters at the start, 34 characters or 41 characters at the start of the game. How many characters are in the game, right? Because I'm missing 3 characters, I think I'm missing Hoshina, Isao, and Rin Tachibana, I think is her name. So that makes 3 more characters. I have 4, 8, 12, 16. If I got those 2, that would be 20, and then 21. 21 characters, man, that ain't shit, man. But guys, I will have more videos going in depth on specific character building aspects and everything on the way, coming this week whenever I get them out. But there goes the team building video. Hopefully this was helpful to you guys. I know this was helpful to you guys. Also, go check out my video on the raid battle. I think I did pretty decent for the first day, but I am going to be pushing to make my team even stronger so that I can go even harder on the next day. If you enjoyed the video, go down below and leave a like on the video, because the dead man is about to get breakfast, and the dead man fed y'all before he fed himself. Think about that. Then also you can subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get notified every time I hit that Narumi glide. I don't even know what I was trying to make a slash sound and a shooting sound at the same time, but it just didn't work. And also you can comment down below and let me know what you want to know, if you need any more team building tips or anything of that nature, or if you want to see any more guides on anything else, because obviously I am taking a look and I am making videos according to what you guys say, but also according to what I think you guys need. So you guys have an excellent, wonderful, superb day. Your boy DEADMANVINCE is locking in for a second day of soccer in a row. Peace out. Love you guys.